What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Happy Friday to everybody. Get ready for another episode of Misunderstood. Let's go ahead and finish this week strong. Ooh, what a week, what a week, what a week. Exciting week of sports. A lot of good games. A lot of unfortunate events. You know, the beginning of the week was a little heartbroken, but the week is being finished strong. We're hearing a lot of good things about Damar Hamlin. There's been a lot of really good basketball games going on right now, and we all getting mentally ready for the NFL season finale. And not to mention, we have an idea now, a plan of what is going to happen depending on the season finale and what's going to happen with the playoffs. So we everything, a lot of things is clear. We got clarity now. You know what I mean? Like, the people who should be with us on this earth is still with us on this earth. And, you know, the week got finished strong. So let me go ahead and start with a little NBA. We got a lot of good games on Friday. You know something? I was debating on this before I got on this microphone. You know what? I'm going to be biased. It's all good. It's my show. Okay? This is my show. I'm going to be a little biased. And start with the New York Knicks. I know. Start your own podcast then. I'm going to start with the New York Knicks. And I'm going to start by saying I owe this man an apology. One more time. I'm going to say it one more time. Maybe two, maybe three, maybe even four more times for at the end of this season. But I owe this man an apology. What man I'm talking about? Well, if you listen to my podcast, you'll know who I'm talking about. Julius Randle. Big man, I owe you an apology for this season. I stand by how I felt about you in the previous season. But for this season, I owe you an apology, man. 5 3-pointers in the first quarter against the Toronto Raptors. 5 3-pointers in the first quarter. 19 points in the first quarter. And if I see a game like that, I usually think, okay, they're probably going to end at like 23 points or 25 points. You know, they have a good start. Don't really finish the same way. No, the man finished with 32 points and 11 rebounds. With 40 minutes of play in this game. Julius Randle is balling, man. He's balling. He's really going out there and really putting in that type of work. And like I said on Thursday's show, if you're gonna have Derrick Rose with 100,000 votes, I think it was, then you need to start voting for Julius Randle. See, sometimes when it's coming to the All-Star game, you get people that get in because of lifetime achievement, and sometimes you get people who don't get the love because when we see your name or hear your name, we think not that good because for previous years you didn't show that type of play. So it's kind of like in reverse. It's like, so you have a 10-year career, and 8 out of those 10 years you play like you was average when you really you should be greatly above average. You might not get no love in that All-Star year that you're having, and then vice versa. Hall of Fame year for 8 years, last 2 years not so much. We still love you. And I think that's what's happening right now with Julius Randle, because there's no way in the world he don't have 100,000 votes for the All-Star game this year. There's no way in the world. People really got a negative stigma when they think about the New York Knicks. Because when they think about Derrick Rose, they don't think about the New York Knicks. They think about Derrick Rose. They think about Chicago. They think about the youngest MVP. They think about that, that type of swag he brought coming out of Memphis. They think they really like him. They enjoy him. And then when it's coming, but anybody else on the Knicks, you playing for a franchise like the Knicks in the past 20, like because of the past 20 years, you really got to ball out to get some type of recognition. You really do, man. Carmelo Anthony, even though he made All-Star games, but people were still looking at Carmelo Anthony like, man, you're not the guy. And he played the exact same way to me that he played when he was in Denver, different franchise. But so Julius Randle, I mean, I'm pretty sure if he do this on the Lakers right now, they would love it. They would love it. Anthony Davis can't play. It's all good. We got Julius Randle, but guess what? He's not on the Lakers right now. He's on the New York Knicks, and he's balling for my New York Knicks. And before I get off the Knicks, show some love for Jalen Brunson. And you know something about Jalen Brunson? I owe you an apology too, because even though I mention you, and when I'm at home watching the games, I do think about you. It's still in my mind. We could have had Donovan Mitchell, and the more New York Knicks fans keep thinking, man, we could have had Donovan Mitchell, the more we're neglecting to see what we do have. You know that saying? You know, you can't love who you want, love who you have. We don't got Mitchell. We got Bronson. He balling too. He putting in work too. He's putting in big numbers too. He had 26 points Friday night. He had 8 assists Friday night. His shooting percentage was real good. You know what I mean? Like we're so stuck on who we could have had, especially when he's out there in Cleveland getting 71 points and everything. Like, man, that you could have did that at the Garden. That we're neglected to see who we do have. And, you know, a lot of times people still got that negative stigma. Like, oh, how y'all Knicks doing? How y'all Knicks doing? What's going on in New York? What's going on in New York? Man, we in 6th place. We doing just fine. We're not on the edge of being in, or we're not in the play-in. Not on the edge. We all on the edge of being in the play-in. But we're not like severely flirting with the play-in, or severely flirting with not even making the playoffs. Like, oh man, like we're I hope we make the play-in. The playoff starts today. We're gonna let these guys play it out and see who's going to join us and the other 5 teams. That means we're a playoff team. That's the one thing I do like about the play-in in the NBA. It really showed the country, or the world. We're an international sport now. Not we, but NBA is an international sport now. It really shows the world who the real playoff teams are. Because a real playoff team don't have to compete to make it in. You either are or you're not. You know, the Bucks ain't worried about making it in. The Sixers ain't worried about making it in. The Knicks all flirting with it, but if it started today, we're like, well, we in. So get that negative stigma off my team, man. We're doing good. We're balling. Our stars is balling. And Julius Randle or Jalen Brunson, I don't know about both. I don't know about two, because, you know, when people say, oh, this person should be all-star, the first thing that goes through my head is, well, who you taking out? And I don't see a lot of people in the East I'm taking out to get 2 Knicks in. But, man, we can get 1. That'll be a good year for this, man. Good year. Good year, man. And the words of Amari Stoudemire, about 12 years too early, the Knicks are back. So, what else we got going on in the NBA? Well, we got a lot of things going on in the NBA. Now this is where I should have started with if I wasn't such a biased individual. But, you know, ain't never wrong to start second on Misunderstood when the Knicks played and had a real good game on the same night. Let's go ahead and talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yeah, that's right. I said I wasn't going to say that man's name until I know how to say it. And guess what? I learned how to say it. the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. On the day I learned how to say your last name, took the time to learn it so I could be a legit sports podcaster. Came here having a sports podcast and can't pronounce the athlete's name. That's my opinion. Took the time out to learn it so I could be legit on this microphone. On the day I figured out how to say your name, you give me 9 points. Bad game. Bad night. Bad night for Giannis. Real bad night. Got his 10 points or more games in a row. Got that streak snap Friday night. Snap. At 9 points. What happened? You missed a free throw or something? Like, man. He had a good run. You know, not like LeBron. LeBron, the king of that streak. We'll get to LeBron a little later on this episode, but not to be so negative and talk about bad Giannis. Let's talk about really good Terry Rozier. Scary Terry, they like to call him. Wow. Well, what about Terry Rozier? You know, he only putting up 39 points. He only made 6 3-pointers. You know, like, LaMelo Ball was really good at finding his teammates. And he found Rozier a good amount. Scary Terry. He found Scary Terry a good amount of times. And LaMelo Ball, man, he, like I said, 12 assists in this game with 24 points. He was really good finding his teammates. He was playing like a true point guard, and Rozier was playing like a true shooting guard. You know, I'm gonna be right here. I'm gonna be right in this corner 3. I'm right here. You got the layup? Nah, I'm right here. Bam. Thank you for the rock. Switch. Thank you for the rock. Switch. By the way, LaMelo got 7 3-pointers himself. Just to let y'all know. LaMelo wasn't just a Jason Kidd out there. He was putting up baskets too. You know, putting up baskets too. That's 18 games in his very, very, very young career of 20 points, 10 assists. 18 games. I saw a stat that before the age of 21, it's like maybe 6 people ahead of, they got more games than that before the age of 21. He only turned 22 until the summertime. So he basically got the next 3 months to continue to go up on that list. He's 1 game away from the next man up. And I believe Magic Johnson might be one of them. With 19 games, I believe so. Not 100% on that one, but I believe so. All I know is Luka got like 45. 45, 20 points, 10 assists before the age of 21. I don't think he's getting that. But he's in good company right now. Very young career. And I think he would do pretty decent things for a squad if he's not the main person on the squad. Which means you got to get out of Charlotte, because ain't no big-time free agent is purposely going to live in North Carolina for 5 years. So ball out. Make the All-Star team if you can as a reserve. You know, maybe you could get your team to flirt with the play-in. And when that contract is up, that rookie contract is up, don't think about the mass money you can make. Get yourself on a team where you could be just the facilitator and the pop-up three-pointer, and let somebody like Kevin Durant, dominate. Let somebody like Jason Tatum dominate. Let somebody like Giannis Antetokounmpo dominate. Let somebody like Luka dominate. Jokic. Let somebody like that dominate and just be one of the main